Bill Gaither's son speaks out for the first time. What he says about his father's silences everyone. Dramatic, vague, impossible not to click. There's just one problem. It never happened. There's no scandal, no shocking confession, no family rift. Benjy Gaither, the actual real son of gospel music legend Bill Gaither, has said nothing of the sort, anywhere, ever. The headline is a hoax, and it's not even an unusual one. It's part of a growing, deliberate industry built entirely around fabricating dramatic stories about aging celebrities to farm clicks and ad revenue. Today, we're going to pull that industry apart, using the Gaither family as the case study, because, as it turns out, they've been targeted by this exact kind of hoax more than once. Before we get into the fake version of events, it's worth knowing who the real Benjy Gaither is, because that's part of how these hoaxes work. They borrow just enough truth to feel believable. Benjy Gaither was born in July 1971 in Mobile, Alabama. He's the son of Bill and Gloria Gaither, the couple widely regarded as pioneers of modern Southern gospel music, and the founders of Gaither Music Company. Benjy grew up immersed in that world, but he built his own path within it as a singer, songwriter, producer, and filmmaker. He's worked on animated projects, including the Hoodwinked franchise, and has spent years contributing to his family's musical legacy in his own right, largely behind the camera and behind the songwriting desk, rather than in scandal headlines. That's it. That's the real story. Talented son, working quietly in the family business, no drama attached, which is exactly why the fake headline works so well. It takes a real person nobody knows much about and fills in the blank space with something designed purely to make you click. This isn't the first time. Here's the part that makes this worth talking about. Bill Gaither specifically has become something of a favorite target for this exact genre of fabricated content, and fact-checkers have already caught several of them red-handed. One widely shared post claimed Bill Gaither had an explosive on-air clash, delivering a pointed political monologue about Donald Trump, law and order, and American unrest. Investigators searched verified media archives and broadcast records. Nothing. No appearance, no statement, no confrontation. The quotes were entirely invented, traced back to a known content farm network already responsible for multiple fabricated celebrity stories. Another version had Bill Gaither firing back at actor George Clooney over political division, complete with a calm, unwavering, made-up quote. Snopes investigated that one too. Also fake. Also traced to the same kind of AI-generated content mill, the sort that publishes shocking celebrity stories purely to collect ad revenue from the clicks. And then there's perhaps the most elaborate one. A fictional story portraying Bill Gaither collapsing in a courtroom after being sentenced to 5 years in prison for tax evasion and secret offshore accounts, with his wife Gloria standing by stoically. None of it happened. Bill Gaither has never been arrested, never been charged with fraud, and never collapsed in any courtroom. It was pure fiction, dressed up to look like breaking news. So when a headline shows up claiming his son has finally spoken out, it isn't an isolated incident. It's the same playbook, running again. The formula, broken down, here's what's genuinely useful about all of this. Once you see the pattern, you can spot it instantly, every single time, regardless of which celebrity's name gets plugged in. First, the headline never tells you what was actually said. Speaks out for the first time. What he says silences everyone, breaks his silence with a message that stuns the world. Notice, there's no actual claim in any of those sentences. No name, no quote, no fact you could check. That's deliberate. A specific claim can be verified and disproven. A vague one just makes you click to find out. Second, the writing leans hard on physical description to sell false authority. Phrases like his tone calm but unwavering, or eyes fixed with steady focus, or leaning forward with quiet conviction. None of that is information. It's atmosphere. It's designed to make an invented quote feel weighty and credible before you've even processed what was supposedly said. Third, real biographical detail gets mixed in with the fabrication. The hoax about Benjy Gaither works precisely because Benjy Gaither is real, and his relationship to Bill Gaither is real. The fabrication only lives in the shocking statement part. Everything around it is true, which makes the whole package feel more believable. Fourth, the link almost never leads anywhere legitimate. It leads to an ad-heavy content farm dressed up to look like a news site. Sometimes the same network gets caught reusing near-identical formats across completely different celebrities, different names, same sentence structure, same fake emotional beats. And fifth, this one matters most. These stories are almost always aimed at older public figures, often within faith communities or older audiences generally. Because that demographic is statistically more likely to share dramatic-sounding stories about beloved figures without pausing to check them first. It would be easy to treat this as harmless nonsense. Clickbait is clickbait, right? But there's a real cost here. These stories exploit trust. Bill Gaither has spent decades building a reputation around gospel music, faith, and family. The fake stories weaponize that exact reputation against him, inventing political rants he never gave, legal scandals that never occurred, and now, apparently, a family confrontation involving his son that simply doesn't exist. Every time one of these gets shared, it chips away a little more at the credibility of real reporting and makes it that much harder for audiences to tell truth from fabrication the next time a genuine story breaks. And for people like Benjy Gaither and his family, it means having words put in their mouths and drama attached to their lives that they never asked for and never lived through. So here's the practical takeaway. Next time a headline like this crosses your feed, ask 3 quick questions before you click, and definitely before you share. 1. Does the headline actually tell you what was said? Or does it just tell you that something dramatic was said? If it's the second one, be suspicious immediately. 2. Where does the link actually lead? A real story about a real celebrity statement will be covered by an outlet you recognize, not a domain you've never heard of, buried under adverts. 3. Can you find this exact story anywhere else, from an outlet with an actual name and reputation attached? If a piece of shocking news about a public figure only exists on one obscure site, that's not an exclusive. That's a red flag. Benjy Gaither hasn't spoken out about some hidden family scandal. There's no shocking confession, no dramatic falling out, no silence being broken. He's simply continued doing what he's done for years, writing, producing, and quietly carrying forward the musical legacy his parents built. The headline was never about him at all. It was about getting you to click. And now that you know exactly how the trick works, the next one, whoever it's aimed at, won't fool you either.